The celebrity I want helping me in a zombie apocalypse would 100% have to be Keanu Reeves. Have you seen that man in John Wick? Plus, in real life, he's a pretty good person, so I know he would help me a lot.
He can also stop a speeding bus twice at least.
And he can do like the...
Right.
So I would choose Zac Efron as my right-hand man. I loved him since High School Musical, Disney era. I love him now. He can do literally anything.
Good entertainer, great looking.
To be honest, I want Dwayne The Rock Johnson on my zombie apocalypse squad. He's very big. He can move objects if we ever get stuck. I feel like I could outrun him if need be. And, he'll probably keep the zombies filled up for a little bit.
I mean, you can definitely try. I feel like he could. I feel like he could break out the sprints.
Angelina Jolie, because she's tough and she can fight and she's really nice and beautiful.
What was that movie where she was like, she could like shoot a gun, but then like bend the bullet so it like curved?
Oh.
Like she can do some cool stuff.
So I thought about this for a while, and my first obvious answer was The Rock. It's like, clearly he's smart, he's athletic, but the longer I thought, I was like, surely I have to pick Elon Musk. He has tons of resources, tons of people on his side, and he's already crazy enough to believe it's going to happen anyway.
Leave the World Behind. It was like a sci-fi movie on Netflix, and there is a scene, the main characters get basically attacked by Tesla cars that bug out, so maybe try to stay away from the Teslas if you can. All very strategic and good choices, but unfortunately, we can only choose one answer to make it to our final round. So vote for your favorite answer in chat by typing vote space and then the number of whoever you agree with, who you think had the funniest answer maybe. I will say Keanu Reeves, underappreciated. I'm surprised more people haven't said him. Well, congratulations, Nick. We will see you in the final round. But now, fans, we actually want to turn it over to you to answer this question directly, because we have a poll for this question. We're asking you which celebrity would be on your zombie apocalypse survival squad. Are you saying it's someone muscular like that actor Glenn Powell, a genius like Neil deGrasse Tyson, someone funny like Emma Stone, or a weapons master like Daphne Keene? Glenn Powell.
Okay.
I got it.
Strong and powerful. All right.
Well, this was such a fun question. Thank you all so much for your answers. I think we can move right on along to our question from last Saturday.
On Saturday, we asked, what would your job be on the Death Star?
Ooh.
Oh, JJ, you've probably got a lot of answers for this.
I do. Yeah, I think all of our fans have some really creative answers with this one. I wouldn't want to be like on the field because I think that would get very stressful. And I know I'm not good under pressure like in the battlefield. So I would want to be a barista.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's like you get to be just like not on the sidelines. You like get to give Darth Vader his like caramel latte. Although I guess if you like make it wrong, you're in a vicinity of a lot of people who can like force choke you. So maybe it's a very stressful one.
It could lead into the next great QOTD, which would be pick somebody from the Death Star and tell us what they're ordering from the barista. I think that would be a great question.
Yes. Or like a stormtrooper is regular. Like I feel like a stormtrooper is a cold brew. Darth Vader, I feel like he secretly has like a really intense and specific order. And then I think the Rebel Alliances would come in and they would just like, maybe they would also get cold brew because they just got to like run in, run out and continue fighting.
Okay.
And then they don't pay. They do tip. They don't pay.
We'll think about this more. Get back to you folks.
Exactly. And in the meantime, we have some answers from fans. So we turn it over to you. What job would you have on the Death Star?
That's easy. I would be an accountant because we're kind of the most valuable in the Star Wars universe. You know, besides Jedi, besides everybody else who's going to keep up with all the taxes and the liens and all the financial institutions, all the financial situations on the Death Star. You know that costs money, so you're going to need an accountant. So I will be an important part to the Death Star.
That's a very creative thought.
Yeah. I think it's like you need someone to fill out all like the tax write-off forms from like the Galactic Empire. So definitely.
I know. Everybody's got to get their passports when they go from like one galaxy to another. Or do they? I don't know this movie. So, but as they travel through space, I would assume that you're going into somebody else's territory at some point. And yeah, okay.
Yeah. I feel like that. Well, that's maybe then there you'd be like a customs or like a border agent.
Yeah. But aren't there different taxes if you did work, like if I do work in New Jersey and I live in New York? So, okay, I'm taking this way too far now. I'm just thinking way too deep. I like the answer.
Good answer, Panzer.
Feel like on the Death Star, my job would be chef because I'd just be straight cooking it up for all the Death Star employees. They know me by name, make the best pizza on Fridays. I'm making soup on Tuesday, 5-bean soup on the Death Star. They love it. They know me. And, no one can get mad at the chef if you're cooking up all the time. So that's why I'd be on the Death Star. I'd be chef.
I don't know how close quarters are on the Death Star, but I don't know if 5-bean soup is a good idea at any time for a large group of men.
No. That's like chili, 5-bean soup, all of these foods. It's like you're playing a very dangerous game of farting in bed. No. But also he makes a good point. Who would kill the chef? Who would come for the
Right.
bartender, the barista? No one.
Yeah, you guys are playing it safe.
I feel like for some reason I'd be that guy who's like right below Vader in commanding force, and I'd like say something that Vader doesn't like, and then he just lifts me up into the air to where I just can't breathe, and then I die. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that would happen to me. Like I really would get choked out by Vader.
So why are you willing to be a tribute here? Like, is that your job? You just want to be the first to die? I don't know.
I guess so. Well, maybe he's like, it's not that he doesn't, it's not that he wants to be like the right-hand man, but he just like, that's his personality. Where he's like, I would be like trusted a lot, but also I would run my mouth. I run my mouth a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Good answer though. Very funny.
This is a complex question because if we're talking about the original Death Star, I probably wouldn't have a job on it because I'm a woman and a woman of color. If we're talking about the later Death Star that's like 3 times as big as the original Death Star, and I'm talking about like The Force Awakens, the Skywalker saga during that period of time, I would probably be probably just like a stormtrooper. If I'm working for them, just a stormtrooper probably just someone who like goes out and battles people and shoots people. That's it.
So the Joe, not out to light this world on fire, right? She's just going to be a working class stormtrooper.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I would want to be, if I were a stormtrooper, I'd want to be the one who like walks the halls, But it sounds like she's like, I'm ready to go into combat. I'd be on the field. I would say my one piece of advice though is be careful around doors because there's an infamous shot where a stormtrooper is walking into a room and bonks their head on one of the door frames.
and they keep it in.
They do, yeah, exactly. And so it's like if you want to be a stormtrooper, just make sure not that one. That would be embarrassing.
I feel like if the Death Star needed some sort of PR consultant, I could step in for that role. I know that they're in a galaxy far, far away, so I don't know what kind of social media system they have in place there. But you gotta think that their image is clearly not too good, especially from the Rebels' point of view. So if they hired me, I think I could help shape their image, turn things around for them.
Okay, a consultant for the stormtroopers. I like that.
Yeah, very important job. Everyone needs like a PR consultant, no matter who you are. So definitely very useful.
I would say that my job on the Death Star would probably be something around the lines of clothing designer. I have noticed that the clothing designs are pretty outstanding on the Death Star. They look pretty imposing, but they look pretty sharp as well. And I'd just like to be part of a team that keeps our soldiers looking so classy all the time.
That's a great original answer. I like that.
Exactly. You're the person who like walks up to the stormtroopers and like polishes the armor if there's any like like stains or like track marks on it. Yeah, no, that is a really great answer. These were all really great answers, honestly. So I am not envious of our fans who have to choose their favorite, but unfortunately, the time has come for you to make a decision. Vote in chat for your favorite answer by typing vote space and the number of the answer you loved, the answer you agree with. Take your pick.
We've got an accountant, we've got a chef, we've got a right-hand man, we've got a stormtrooper, a PR consultant, and a fashion designer. There's room for you all on the Death Star, but there can only be one person going in for our semifinalist. And it is our 5-bean soup chef named Ill Options. I do think that was the best answer. Gonna be
exactly.
A chef. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's safe.
No, he's good. He doesn't have to worry about anything. Like no one is going to come for him. He's not making any of like the big important decisions. He's just, I would love to see the menu. Like what recipes does Ill Options have like in his pocket to feed like what the billions potentially of people that live on the Death Star? Because it's like a planet-sized thing. So you need like a lot of different food options.
Yeah. He says he makes a mean pizza, but that's a lot of slices.
Yeah, no, I feel like if Domino's got that call, they would go out of business. Well, congratulations on options. You will see you in the final rounds. But now, fans, we turn it over to you with another poll. We're asking you, what would your job be on the Death Star? Would you be a cleaner, a male trooper, a bartender, or an IT technician?
Male trooper.
Male trooper. That one. Yeah, no, I think that's a good one. IT technician sounds hard though. Oh,
I know. Cleaner. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of a safe position, right? Nobody's going to shoot the person who's scrubbing your toilet.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, I feel like if you're a janitor in the hall during the Rebel Alliance, they would just run by you. Because like, what do you do? You have a mop. What are you going to do? There are people around you with lightsabers and like superpowers, and you're just like walking into the bathroom and you're just like trying to plunge the toilet.
Just me and my dust rag. Don't mind me.
Exactly. Perfect. I think that's definitely the safer option.
Mm-hmm.
These are all such good answers. Such a good question. Thank you all so much for your answers. I think now we can move right along to our question from Sunday.
And on Sunday, we asked, if aliens invaded Earth, what movie monster would you choose to defend mankind?
There's a lot of them.
So I know I made fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger earlier, and I didn't want him on my zombie apocalypse team, but here's where I do want to employ him, and not in a political realm. I want to bring him in, the Terminator, to defend Earth against aliens. I don't know that much about movie monsters, but I did watch Terminator, and I think even like maybe 2 Terminators, and he is kind of a monster to contend with, and he just seems to have all kinds of superpowers and way to like regenerate his body if he is hurt or hit, and he just seemed unstoppable to me. So I'm going to vote for Arnold to defend Earth.
I think that is a brilliant choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, because also it's like the robots, they're like perfectly automated. Like you said, they're like, if they need to like get a bit repaired, you just grab some scrap metal and just tinker a little bit. I know that there is the other Terminator in Terminator 2 that like can turn into like liquid metal and like move through like walls, or like if there's a bar, that's like done.
There we go. There we go. A shape-shifting killing machine. That's what I want.
The aliens don't stand a chance. That is such a good option. I don't know if many people will be able to compete with that answer, but let's see. Fans, we turn it over to you. If aliens invaded Earth, which movie monster would you choose to defend all of humanity?
When I first read this question, I was like, I kept thinking of Aliens. I thought of Monsters, Inc. But perhaps I would bring Bowser from Super Mario World universe. I mean, he was able to keep Peach away from Mario for like hundreds of levels. I don't think I've ever finished a Super Mario game, so maybe that's what we need. We need Bowser to hide all of humanity, and the aliens won't be able to defeat the levels to come get us.
New strategy. She doesn't really, so the defense is going to be, what is it? The best offense is a good defense. So she's saying we need to run and hide, but we need someone to coordinate the running and the hiding so we survive. Okay.
Genius. And also, if you do Mario, I feel like you can get the power-ups from Mario. So you can like, Bowser can get bigger. Bowser can like throw fireballs.
Okay. Yeah.
Smart. Very smart.
Okay. I've got it. Mewtwo. I choose you. I don't know, Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo would have a pretty good chance. I think. Like, it's got some pretty wicked skills and powers, so I reckon in a battle like that, yeah, it could save mankind.
This is a Pokemon, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know too much about these, but I do trust Tabitha. She's given us many little pearls of wisdom. She's answered quite a few questions. So, okay, Pokemon. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I think I'm feeling good. I think specifically with Mewtwo, I think Mewtwo, if I'm not mistaken, is like basically a god in the Pokemon universe, or like one of the most powered. So I think choosing Mewtwo is a good idea. Although honestly, like any of the Pokemon could probably serve some purpose. Like you have water types that you could probably like create water jets that destroy electric equipment, or like fire types electric. There's a lot of different types. So I think they could all serve some purpose.
Okay, good answer, Tabitha.
Edward Cullen. That's it. Just him.
Love
it. I get it. But where's he going to get the blood from? He's going to have to, right? Vampire, right? That's who this is? Edward Cullen. So he have to feed off our own people because alien blood, there's no way. No way that's going to satisfy a human vampire, right? I don't know, Taylor. I don't know if this was the best choice. Good looking, but I don't know.
True. I think the one thing I could see that would really help is I know that in Twilight, the vampires sparkle if they're exposed to sunlight. So if we get like a really powerful beam of light, it could be like a blinding light that we could like sort of like when you have a mirror and you shine it towards an airplane or like a laser pointer and you shine it towards an airplane. Maybe that could be useful.
Good theory. Okay.
Edward Cullen just standing on the ground, just like, yeah.
I'm sure everyone's like Godzilla, King Kong, and those are cool, but I'm going to go one better. Cthulhu. Nothing can stand up to Cthulhu. H.P. Lovecraft, he has got it in the bag. That's all. That's all you need to say. Mic drop. Cthulhu owns all. Any aliens, any of us, he wants your brains. He'll be in your dreams. He will come and get you, and you won't survive.
Wow.
Okay. I have to take his word for this, and he seems pretty strong in his convictions.
Yes. I think this is another instance of like a god, basically a god in sci-fi, where it's like humans who even like learn about the existence of Cthulhu, they go insane. Like it's just like such an inconceivable monster that just even knowing about it is enough to defeat the alien. So definitely very powerful.
Okay. Good answer.
Also very niche.
Mm-hmm.
So if aliens invaded Earth, the movie monster that I would choose to save mankind would be the bear from Cocaine Bear, because in the real story, the bear died after a few minutes, but for those few minutes that he was alive, he was considered the most dangerous animal on Earth. So I think he'd be a pretty good asset.
Okay. So as Bartimus mentioned, lots of people were probably thinking King of the Monsters, right? King Kong, Godzilla, Cocaine Bear.
Genius.
Yeah, right up there. Okay.
Yeah. No notes. Perfect.
If aliens invaded Earth, I'd probably bring Godzilla, only because he has a track record. I think if there was an exterminator of hostile aliens in the monster movies, it would be Godzilla. He comes in, he cleans up shop, and he leaves. And everyone just loves him for it. besides the newer Godzilla movies, but I think he's good. I think the destruction is worth the payoff.
Yeah, it's interesting. And God, I don't know how many Godzilla movies there have been between America and Japan, but like 40 something, I think. And he seems to get more different powers like each time. Megalozilla, I think, was one of them, where he's basically, it's like the Terminator in Godzilla form. And he's got like these shields and he's got these lasers. And I think he shoots lasers out of his mouth. Yeah, Godzilla, that one would be, that was a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that he has like the nuclear breath. They can just like breathe and like emit like radiation.
Right.
That's true.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Although, like you alluded to, I feel like you'd have to be careful of like, you can't destroy too much of the city in trying to save the city. You know, what good is New York City to us after the alien invasion of like Godzilla has stomped on every single building?
Yeah, exactly. And Godzilla himself, he's the cautionary tale of, nuclear powers and things like that. That's how the story goes. He was derived from humans making poor mistakes and trying to advance too quickly with stuff that we don't really understand. So I don't know if we could bring him back though and save the planet that we already screwed up. It could all work out for the best.
I agree. Good answer. Well, these are all very good answers, very good choices to defend mankind. But unfortunately, you can only choose one for the alien invasion. So vote for your favorite answer in chat by typing vote space and the number of the creature you think is the most powerful, the creature you'd love to work with in the defense against the aliens. Let us know.
Oh, I don't know, man. Jeremy might have just talked me into Godzilla. He swooped in the end.
Literally coming up at the last minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I feel like I as a deep cut. There you go.
Jeremy. That was really good. That was a really good answer. And he defended it well.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think Godzilla, and also like Godzilla and King Kong, I feel like if they partnered up especially, the aliens would be done. There's no hope for them.
That's right.
Yeah. You have the alien ships, they can just like literally just reach up and just sort of grab it and like yank it down.
Uh-huh.
Done. 8. Well, thank you, Jeremy. This was a really incredible answer, and we will see you in the final rounds. But now, fans, we turn it over to you once again with a poll. So we're asking you which movie monster you'd want defending mankind. Is it the Kraken? Is it Godzilla? Is it King Kong? Or is it Pokemon?
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like no one mentioned the Kraken, but that's like 8 limbs and like a huge...
Oh, really, guys? Our fans, they want to depend on Pokemon to save our world. Okay.
That's true. I mean, the nice thing about it is like when you're done, you can like just have the Pokemon in like a little ball. So it really is like, I guess it's the most practical, convenient, transportable like defense against the aliens.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
No. Yeah, I would prefer the best ultimate answer to this question is we don't have to worry about it because the aliens just sort of skip over us and they just
we're not worthy.
Exactly. Go to Mars, go to Venus.
Where there's more intelligent life. I get it.
Exactly. So good. Well, this was another incredible question. I think we move right along to, I want to say, yeah, we're on Monday now.
On Monday, if aliens invaded Earth, what? I'm so sorry. Aliens, Bigfoot, and ghosts. Oh my, what out of the box theories do you believe in?
This is a good question. I feel like I immediately always forget like all of the conspiracy theories that people have. I need to like take a look at those. I, for some reason, get very interested in like the idea of Fermi's paradox and like where are these aliens that we're supposed to be defending ourselves against. And I'm a huge fan of 2 theories. One being the great filter, which is basically the idea that like as societies advance, there comes a certain point that they reach that no civilization can get past. And so with us, it's either like either all of these civilizations have come before us, they've reached that point and they haven't moved past it, in which case we might at one point reach this barrier and our civilization might crumble, or we've already passed that filter and we're like the only ones out there who have done it. So
okay.
spooky. Yeah. I get into the nerdy stuff. I'm like,
yeah, I like that a lot. I know some people have the same theory, but more with a religious turn, where it's like God only allows us to get so advanced and start sort of messing with, I don't want to like call out genetics, but sort of, God is only going to allow us to keep changing things that he did not intend to change, to a point where it's like, all right, so you've cured all the diseases. Boom. Here's a new one, that's incurable, that will never end, that there's a never ending cycle of the next big pandemic or problem or weather event or something we'll never be able to keep up.
wow.
So it's kind of the same thing you were talking about, but
I like it. So it's sort of like, oh, you figured out how to like engineer buildings, you figured out how to like cure all these diseases. Boom, TikTok, we're going to give you an endless scroll. And so you're going to waste all your time.
Right.
I think those are both great theories. I think
Yeah.
the world works in mysterious ways, and I love hearing people try to explain it. Speaking of which, we have some really great theories from fans. So fans, we're asking you, what out of the box theories do you believe in?
It's weird. I think that aliens and ghosts are real. So I do believe in different dimensions, but I also believe in higher intelligent beings which exist outside of our universe. So it's weird. I don't necessarily know if there is life and existence outside of our universe, or if also there's like a second dimension of life, and that's ghosts. So ghosts and aliens, I feel like they both coincide.
Wow. That is in depth.
That's pretty deep. Yeah. I get what she's saying, though. I mean, it's hard to imagine, and I kind of hope we're not the smartest species in the universe.
Yeah. It's like you're saying that I'm the smartest. Sometimes I forget like a word for like car. And I'm like, what's that? What's that thing? Like you put a piece of paper in it. Oh, an envelope.
Yeah. And then to say that
obviously aliens are living among us. The rest of the world just hasn't accepted it yet.
Finish your thought.
I was going to say, and then back to her, just her secondary thought of maybe it's not just humans that are the only life forms that exist, or, animals, because of ghosts.
That's
aliens.
True. Yeah.
Paul loves him an alien too.
Yeah, true. It's like the different planes of existence. I think we only see the stuff that's around us on Earth. I know that there's like different dimensions. I mean, there's different planets. There's like, I think the number was like, if you tried to count a star a second, it would take you like 4.6 million years to like count every single star that's in the universe. Like there's so much out there that it's like, there's no way that we're it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this may sound crazy, but I think there is some truth to various things that I've read and watched about how there's like an underworld, Atlantis. I've also heard some things about the North Pole, but just sticking with Atlantis, I think there's some truth to the fact that maybe we used to be water people. I don't know. I hope that doesn't sound too crazy. But I definitely think that once upon a time, maybe everyone lived underwater.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not crazy. It's not crazy at all.
Yeah, actually, I think that's probably the most logical and reasonable one, because we all did like come from the ocean. We all were fish, and then the fish grew legs, and then they stood on two of them, and here we are.
That's right. Yeah.
So, Brianna, you are not too far off.
Mm-mm.
Aliens are real. The Area 51 raid was done because people believed that aliens were being held up by the military, right? Which I think that's true. Come on, like, why is it so heavily guarded? And we live in the Milky Way galaxy, and there's other galaxies that are billions of light years away that have their own secrets. You know, there could be aliens over there in the other galaxies. Maybe they've disguised in our galaxy as people or animals. You don't know. Aliens, we don't know much about aliens. All we know is that we want to know if they're there, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Also, I don't think an Area 51 raid actually happened. I know that people were talking about trying to do one though. So
Yeah, right. She asked a good question though. Like, why does everything have to be classified still now? Even if they release documents, there's still so much redaction that goes on. I have the same question that she does.
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like at this point we all basically already believe. I think they actually like found bacterial life on Mars and they like released a report about it. So like we know that there are like living life forms on other planets. So if they just said like, oh, we've actually found, although like it's maybe it's like like a releasing the information that it's like, oh, it's a full civilization on Mars. That could be that
Right.
might be a little wild. Yeah, who knows?
I personally believe in ghosts. I think they are real. You can call them ghosts, energies, or spirits, or whatever, but I think they do exist. They are among us, and that there are good ones and bad ones. The good ones are like good energy, bad ones bad energy. I feel like they're like beings of a different dimension, if I can say so.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Yeah.
Martin. I'm 100% with you. I think that there's always that thing, not always, but I feel like it's a very common feeling when you go somewhere or you meet somebody and you have sort of a dark feeling, maybe about a place where you go and you're like, ooh, this place gives me the creeps, right? And that nothing's going on. It's just sort of this heaviness in the air. So I totally agree.
Exactly. Where it's like you don't know, you can't place your finger on what exactly. Well, sometimes you can, but it's like sometimes you're just like the walls just feel a little bit too different. Like there's just something about the whole place
Yeah.
or the person that you're like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
oftentimes you end up being right.
Yeah. Trust your gut, honestly.
Exactly.
Always trust your gut.
About 3 or 4 years ago, I had a really weird, superstitious, scary encounter at night at my summer camp that I go down to like almost every year. Now, there was a really big flying saucer looking like object above the field, and it lit the whole place like it was sunlight. And I couldn't believe it. Like, that was when I was convinced that, oh, okay, we're not alone. I'm sure aliens exist. I don't know about Bigfoot and ghosts, though.
I have 100 questions for this man right now. Did other people see it? Did you guys report it? Were you interviewed about it? Like, did anybody get a sketch? What more happen? Had that ever happened there before? Like, oh my gosh. Please come back to us.
Literally. We need like a full like 5 minute, not even five, like a full hour-long show just grilling Smiley about this alien encounter.
Oh my gosh. I'm stunned.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, it's not just like, oh, I believe in aliens. It's like, no, I've seen a full ship in the sky. What did it look like? We need to follow up. Smiley, if you see this show, if you're watching today, which I know you are, please like tell us more.
Yes.
Wow. Well, these are all really great answers. That last one was insane. But let us know which answer you love the most. By voting in chat, typing vote space and the number of the answer you agree with, the theory you find the most interesting. Let us know.
Yeah, this was interesting because the running theme through all 6 of these was there's something out there, whether it's in the spirit world, whether it's on another planet, whether it's here and we're just not acknowledging it for what it really is. Right? I think most of them.
Yeah.
Except the underwater world.
Yeah.
The underwater world. Okay. Not a crazy theory. And the fans agreed because they voted for you as the winning answer. It's a great theory that there is, in fact, like an Atlantis that exists. We may never be able to tap into it, but just below our feet, there is something magical and mystical going on underwater. Good answer, Brianna.
Very good. It reminds me, I think there was like a story that I heard about on like they have like these YouTube video essays, and a guy talked about how like one day, I think it was like in India, the water receded before a tsunami, and like an entire like like a town was like
Yeah.
underwater that just got revealed. And so it's like definitely like the way that the continents change, the way that like just the world shifts. I wouldn't be surprised if like there was like a city like somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean that just ran underwater because like the continents moved around or something.
And survived and
Exactly.
thrives today. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Brianna, this was such a good answer. I
Good
think
answer.
we're both like, we agree. We're all in.
Mhm.
But this was such a good answer. We'll see you in the final round. Now, fans, we turn it over to you with our poll. We're asking you what out of the box theory you believe in. The Simpsons predicting the future, the moon landing was a hoax, Avril Lavigne was replaced, or the Roswell UFO exists?
Simpsons
Wow.
predicts the future is a really good one.
So good.
Oh, but
Oh.
not as good as what's the UFO? Oh, Roswell.
Actually, I think it beat it out by literally like one vote.
Okay.
Yeah. So good. No, I've seen all those compilations where they're like, they'll predict it to a T.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm like, how in the world did you even like think of that?
Donald Trump being president. It was like not even a thought in anybody's mind, even in Donald Trump's. And it was, I don't know how many years prior or decades probably prior. It is crazy.
Yeah. Everyone, if you're watching, stay up to date on The Simpsons, because that basically is like the news for, at this point, like 2040, I think we're at. So
yeah, they're little fortune tellers over there.
Matt Groening, something's going on in that writer's room. Well, this is another incredible question. Thank you all for your theories. We can now move on to Tuesday's question.
And on Tuesday, we asked if you could know the answer to any one unsolved mystery in the whole world, what would it be? So listen, I'm going to say something that's going to sound very basic until I get into it. So for me, the theory that or the mystery that I want solved is actually definitively who shot JFK and why. And let me explain, because it kind of also goes into a theory that I believe in that we haven't talked about yet, which is, and listen, these thoughts are just my own. I don't speak for Boda or QOTD. This is just Trish saying, I think the Kennedys had something to do with the death of Marilyn Monroe because she was having an affair with JFK. She had a little thing with Bobby. They were trying to like bribe her and push her and make her go away because she was like incessantly calling the government offices, trying to talk to them and all this. So in just the wild world of celebrity and politics and just like crappy people, I think that there was like this insidious ball of stuff going on that all sprang from the Kennedy administration. And I want to know who wanted their hands on him and why, and how it relates back, if for any reason, to other celebrities and things.
As a response, I will also start by saying that this is not the opinions of Boda Games or Consolidated Wonder, that this is the express opinion of me.
Just me.
I think, honestly, if there were fewer unanswered questions about the whole thing, then I think that I would be like, what are you talking about? But the fact that there are so many unknowns.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think there's definitely something deeper going on.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't have CCTV like they do today, where they had it from every angle, from every 7-Eleven and Starbucks. So it's very difficult to go back now. And then they say documents were missing. And I don't know, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. I think there were, there's just so many. Yeah. I've seen like a bunch of TikToks with people like dissecting and talking about it. And it's definitely like very interesting. Because also it's like, I also just think it's a symptom of like you said, like no CCTV. They didn't have like DNA testing or stuff. I don't know. I don't think they had DNA testing back then, but it's like, because there's so many things they didn't have access to that we have access to now. It's like, there are just so many things I feel like we could learn now, but that just, I don't know.
Exactly.
And also,
Look, Trump just got shot in the ear. That guy was taken out in like 2.7 seconds.
Exactly.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that is an extremely good and an unanswered question that I would also love to know the answer to. If anyone has input, maybe don't start with us. Maybe like go to like the FBI first. But I know that a lot of people have equally good theories. Maybe not equally. I think ours is very good. But let's see what the fans have to say. So, fans, if you can know the answer to one unsolved mystery, what would it be?
The unsolved mystery I would solve would probably be if aliens exist or not. I mean, the amount of conspiracy theories we hear, they got flying saucers, the UFO stuff that the government just released. I mean, it would be great just to have a definitive answer for everybody of aliens exist. This is how they are treated. This is how their world works. It's just so many questions that you could answer.
Well, Smiley says yes. Saw
Exactly.
a flying saucer.
Yeah, Jeremy, we'll put you in touch with Smiley, and I think your answer will be solved very quickly for your question.
Hands down, I would need to know all of the details and facts surrounding JFK's shooting. I'm not a history buff. I'm not like a know the president's in order kind of person, but I need to know exactly where he was shot from, what angle was correct, if the whole sign on the grassy knoll had a role to play, who done it, everything.
Yeah, there's so much. It's just, and now it's got this big like, I don't know. There's just this cloud. It's shrouded in mystery, right?
Yeah. What was that? Isn't there also like I don't want to say babushka woman, but there's like the woman with like the scarf around her head that no one knows who she is, but she was like right there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Babushka woman. It could have been called that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Also, there's that series 11/22/63, I think it is, where it's like they talk about it a lot. So maybe Stephen King has some secret knowledge that we don't.
I think this would have to be the mystery of DB Cooper. This dude jumped out of a plane with, I think it was like $25,000 at the time, but the equivalent of way more money now. But dude jumped out of a plane. None of his money was ever recovered. His body wasn't recovered. He just escaped. I think that is one of the coolest mysteries ever. And I want to know about it. Tell me.
Yeah, that is a really good one. And aviation, I don't know if other fans have talked about it, but like the Bermuda Triangle, like what happens when planes literally disappear? Like they don't just dissipate inside of a cloud. That doesn't happen. But they just, maybe it goes back to aliens. I don't know.
True. Yeah, it's like DB Cooper, also like Amelia Earhart. Like, well, I guess we know what kind of happened to her, but like, also, yeah, there's just all these like aviation mysteries too. Like being in the sky, the world is so big, the oceans are so deep that it's like literally anything could have happened, and we would not know. Wild.
How did Helen Keller fly a plane? How did Helen Keller fly a plane? That's my unsolved mystery. That's what I want to know.
Taylor, of course, being hilarious as always. I don't think she flew solo. I'm not sure, but I think she might have had a set of eyes and a pair of ears on either side of her helping her out. But maybe not.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if like the Aviation Association would let Helen Keller fly on her own. So I think she probably like had a little bit of help.
Yeah. I think that was before the FAA. I think you're right, JJ.
Oh, so then it was probably like the Wild West where you could have like a fighter jet and it'd be like you go into the cockpit and it's like a snake. Snakes on the plane.
Yes.
If I could know the answer to one unsolved mystery, I think it would be all of the planes and boats that go missing at the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know much about it, but it's always freaked me out a little bit. It's always been at the back of my head. I'm always thinking of it. Yeah, I just think it would be really weird to know.
I'm so sorry I stole your thunder, Kaylee. I did not hear your answer before we started talking about this, but So clearly, I think this is a genius one. But yeah, the Bermuda Triangle. How does this happen? And it's multiple times over many, many, many years. Flights going into one certain area, and they never come out the other side. There's no wreckage. There's no signs. There's no nothing.
Out of nowhere, literally.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and also like that ties into like I feel like the Malaysia Airlines flight where they were like, "What? We'll never know what happened because we
We'll
can't
never know.
find like anything."
Yeah.
So it's
We'll
like
never know.
it just disappeared into thin air.
Mhm.
Insane.
Okay, I think mine would have to be whether or not aliens are real. Like, did Roswell happen? Is there an Area 51? Has the FBI or the government been housing like spaceships and aliens for years? Like, I think it's at the forefront of my head because there's been like sightings, whistleblowers, and stuff in the media lately. So I want to know if it's real, if it's legit. Yeah, I think if I could find that out, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
JJ, obviously, we get in hundreds, thousands, whatever it is, of answers every week, month, year here at QOTD. Is that, in your opinion, is that what people want to know most, whether it comes to theories or whether it comes to unsolved mysteries? Because I hear a lot about aliens. Is that probably what inquiring minds want to know most?
I would say so. I mean, especially it being sci-fi week, I feel like aliens are on the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah.
But I think she's right where it's like it feels like there's just been a lot of talk about the existence of aliens, and like it feels like there's been a lot less like active like no aliens aren't real from the government. So I'm like, are they gonna like drop the big reveal eventually that aliens are real? Like they've been.
Right.
Yeah, because even better, it's like, and even better, I read a book where they were like dissecting like the psychology of people who had alien sightings, and I'm like, what if someone wrote that book and then eventually it was like, oh wait, aliens are real, and so all those people are like, you said I was not, you said I was lying.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you. Well, these are some really great answers. Thank you all so much for all of these answers. Unfortunately, you can only choose one unsolved mystery to get the answer to. So vote for your favorite answer in chat by typing vote space and then the number of the person that you agree with, the question you would want to know the answer to.
Aliens, JFK, Bermuda Triangle,
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper, yes.
DB Cooper.
Artemis. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of good ones here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we have a winner. Ooh. JFK.
JFK.
Yeah.
JFK, yeah. I mean, that's got to be such a, if we went outside the world of our fans in QOTD, this has got to be rank up there with one of the top 5 anyway, unsolved mysteries. Yeah, people do want to know. And the more time that goes by, the more people that were involved are no longer here, no longer, whether they're not in a position of power anymore with the government or even alive.
Exactly.
I don't think we'll ever know.
Exactly. I guess we'll have to hope that there's like a good paper trail out there. Yeah. Well, this was a really good answer, Alexis. Thank you so much for your answers, everyone. We'll see you in the final round. But for now, fans, we have a poll. We're asking you what unsolved mystery keeps you up at night. We have, who was Jack the Ripper? Where did Amelia Earhart go? What happened to the Mary Celeste? That's a good one. And why was Stonehenge built?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these are all good.
Wait, who's Mary Celeste quickly?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Big one. Big one.
Yeah. Big. I think everyone is like, what's that?
Yeah.
But the Mary Celeste is basically I think it was like in the 1800s, they found a ship that was like completely intact, totally fine, except all of the crew missing. Not a single person on board. No evidence of like a skirmish, of a struggle, of like a pirates getting on the ship. It was just that everyone was gone.
Right.
And no one knew what happened.
Okay. I do remember that now. That's a really good one too.
Yeah. Yeah. But not as good as Stonehenge.
No.
Sometimes I wonder if it's like these structures, people are like, what was the reason why were they built? What was the purpose? I feel like knowing how often people just sort of do things because they want to do it.
Yeah.
Like
but
I
that
feel
was a lot of work.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who like, I mean, Mr. Beast puts on like entire game shows because he just sort of wants to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you never know. But I think that's a good mystery. Maybe it's also like a secret to like the end of the world or something. But we won't know.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, this was another great question. We will move right along to Wednesday.
On Wednesday, we asked, which cult classic deserves a reboot?
Nice.
JJ, I know you've got thoughts on this because you're such a movie buff.
Yes. And my answer, because I know that I've been seeing a lot of talk about the Little Shop of Horrors musical, because I think like there's been a bunch of really famous people who have done like the Broadway, like the stage show. I think that movie is like ripe for a reboot because it's like we have like access to such good puppetry, such good like cameras. I feel like that would be also there. I feel like there's a lot of movie musicals that are coming out recently, like the Mean Girls one, the Wicked movie. So I feel like it's only a matter of time before Little Shop of Horrors comes, and I will be sat in the theater opening day.
That's a great choice. I love that.
Yeah. It's so good. I think I was in it as like a bit part in high school. So
oh, really?
Holds a special place in my heart. Yeah, I was on for like literally one line.
Hey,
I was
whatever.
a star.
You are a star, baby. You still are.
Thank you. But that's my answer. And I know a lot of people also have a lot of really good cult classics they'd want to see rebooted. So fans were asking you, what movie did you choose?
I think Legally Blonde definitely deserves a reboot. So it's been years since the first one came out. So I would definitely like to see a reboot of Legally Blonde. So
that's interesting. Very cute. That was a great movie.
True. And I actually think there's a reboot coming out. I think Reese Witherspoon was in talks to like reprise Elle Woods. So
wow, great, Miss Campbell. Good idea.
Exactly. You answered the question, and Hollywood was listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to be a little controversial with this answer. And I'm going to say none. Please stop rebooting old movies and TV shows. Like, there are so many incredible new ideas out there that we just need to give a chance to. And there's so many amazing cult classic movies and shows that, like, should just be left as they are because they mean something. They're, like, special in that moment, you know?
Yes.
So my answer is none. Please stop rebooting old things.
I think she has a really good, she's got two good points. One is, can we be more creative as an industry? And the answer is yes. So let's go for that. But the other thing is that so many of these were so special and so funny because it was just a mere reflection of the time that we were living in. I know a lot of people want to reboot 80s stuff. And I think it's a terrible idea. It's a lot of what made it really funny was a lot of the crap that we got away with in the 80s that wouldn't even make sense today. It would be so unrealistic, right? So I agree with you, Aaron. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, I immediately think about like, because you know that one thing that they do a lot is they like will try to gender swap it, where it's like instead of she's all that, it's he's all that. Instead of like, there's one where like I think it's like a Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn movie where like I think it's called Overboard, where Goldie Hawn goes overboard. They did a remake of that, but they gender swapped it. And I think it's like at a certain point, you just gotta like you said, let the 80s be the 80s.
Yes.
Come up with new ideas. You know, it's allowed. It's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, did see the Twisters sequel or Twisters remake recently. Loved it.
Oh, good.
So sometimes it's good.
Yeah.
The cult classic that I think needs a reboot is definitely The Breakfast Club. You can't hate this movie. You can rewatch it, and it basically applies to everybody. Sadly, the reboot probably will never happen, but generation after generation, this movie applies to everyone, and that needs a reboot.
So it's not going to work. One of the best scenes is, when they're smoking in the library and getting away with it because people smoked cigarettes in school. And the other stuff was just like the total sexism. the total bullying, poor Anthony Michael Hall up against Judd Nelson. Like, people just wouldn't want to watch that type of film today, right? It was funny when we were young and dumb, but now, we're really smart, and it just, nobody finds that stuff funny anymore.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point. I think the one thing about that movie, honestly, that I think could be updated to today is is the smoking inside. But if you replace the smoking with vaping, because
Oh, right. Okay.
now all the kids, all the teens, all the young adults, we vape inside,
Right,
which
right.
not good, but
Absolutely.
hey.
Mhm.
So in that one aspect, you could possibly
You can
do
fix it. Okay. All right.
I don't know if any of you guys saw that movie Dread with Carl Urban from like 2013, 2011. But it was a reboot of a previous Dread movie, Judge Dredd. That was really good. And it was really good. I don't know if I want a reboot of it. I want a sequel with Carl Urban because like it was so good. It was like that movie The Raid Redemption, which is another cult movie I wish would have more sequels. But yeah, that movie. If not a sequel, a reboot, because I mean, I think that's just a cool idea that deserves to be seen. Because that movie, I think it lost like $6 million, but it was great. It had good reviews. People liked it. It was cool. Yeah, that.
Okay. I am not familiar with Dread. Are you?
I'm a little bit. I've heard of the movie, and it definitely, I haven't seen it, but it definitely, like, it looks very cool. So
Okay.
I could see that being like a good maybe reintroduction for people. Maybe you get like a new actor. Oh, actually, no, keep Keith Urban because he's in that show, The Boys, which I know is immensely popular. So maybe it just like needed a few years, and then you bring him back,
Okay.
and then you're good. You're Bob's your uncle.
I'm going to trust you and Chris on this one.
Sounds good.
I would say that The Little Mermaid deserves a reboot. The songs in Little Mermaid are fantastic, and I'd love to see a live action version of having everything under the water.
I think this answer is a little old because we have, in fact, famously gotten a live action remake of The Little Mermaid.
Yes. Andrew, you're a genius, or behind the times, but we're going to guess that you are a genius.
Yes. Although the question, because I know that they do a lot of those like live action Disney remakes. So I guess the question is, what are they going to do next? I think they're talking about doing a Tangled remake. That is going to be so, I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Which cult classic deserves a reboot? Now, this is a hard one, but the first thing that comes to my mind would be Star Trek. It's a show that I've seen a little bit of. I haven't seen a ton, but it's, super popular with the older generation. It's and by older generation, people older than me. And, it really is a classic, but, I never got into it because of, the bad graphics. I feel like a reboot would be better for everybody. Shoot it in 4K. Get the younger generation involved, bring back some nostalgia for the younger generation. It'd really be a win-win. Plus, we're at the time where some of the actors are starting to pass away, so it's a great time to reboot and remind people of the greatness of Star Trek. I just saw, I think, a couple weeks ago that one of the lead actor or actresses had passed, and I think that the reboot would, really just allow for a re-celebration of the show, its accomplishments, and their lives.
Yeah, so I think this is a good example of where reboots can kind of reign supreme. Like, if you can just take a show that was very, at the time, like tech heavy and forward thinking, but if you can take those ideas and really advance them using CGI and things like whatever, you could make something much, much better, much better.
True.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I know that they have like movie reboots and some like animated show reboots, but they haven't talked about like a remake of like the original like TV series. So maybe that could be fun.
Yeah.
Sorry for the car honk in the background. But that was such a good answer. I'm so sad that Keith isn't here to enjoy the answer though.
I know. It's been a few times today that we've had some questions, and I've thought of Keith because he's just, king of the nerds and lord of the sci-fi. So we miss you, Keith. Sorry. I'm a poor stand-in.
Listen, we'll prepare the questions. We'll like add a little bit at the end of the video of him like answering all the questions that we have about Star Trek and Cthulhu.
Good idea.
And yeah, perfect. But in the meantime, we have some great answers here. And now we're going to have to choose one answer to go to the final round. So select the
Ooh.
answer that you love the most, type vote space and the number of that answer, and you can send them on.
Wow. Okay. Gosh, I never thought I'd vote Star Trek for anything in my life, but if I ever did, this would be the one. I think he makes some good points.
I agree. Yeah, I think he made like the best case, I would say.
Yes.
I would say in terms of the best, also Miss Campbell was good too, though.
With Legally Blonde, right?
Mhm. There you go.
And there we are. See, guys, a little persuasive argument. Look where it gets you into the finals. Congratulations.
Yes, we hope that Hollywood is listening and they will take your advice, A. Finsterwald, and they'll start on that original series reboot pronto. But in the meantime, we'll see you in the final round. And for now, we have a question for you all, audience. We have a poll. We're asking which cult classic movie or TV show deserves a reboot in your mind? Starship Troopers, Napoleon Dynamite, DuckTales, or The Craft? Napoleon Dynamite would be fun.
It would be fun. I don't know The Craft.
So The Craft is an 80s movie. Okay, Starship Troopers. People like the military versus aliens, sort of like spoofy fight stuff. But The Craft it's an 80s movie, basically about teen witches. It's like big on TikTok because people are like very obsessed with the sort of goth style. And one of the characters has a line where it's like, "You don't even exist to me." So I think it's very iconic. And maybe we'll host it. We'll have to add that to the list of movies that we have to watch as a QOTD contingency.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for voting. I believe we are moving on to our last question of the week for today. Oh my gosh.
The last question is, if you could live in any fictional universe, which would it be? Oh man, land, sea, among the stars. There's so many fictional universes. I know this is sci-fi week, but I'm going to keep it here on the ground and go underground, in fact, a little bit. I'm going to go to Wonderland. So I think that would be a great place to live. So you've got all kinds of fun characters. Everybody is just living their best life, right? They're eating, they're drinking, they're smoking, they're playing cards, they're doling out riddles, and tea parties everywhere, right? So I think I would like to be like an Alice in Wonderland. I want to go to Wonderland. And really, there's not too many terrible things to deal with, right? Like the queen is kind of mean and the cat is kind of catty, but if that's the worst you have to deal with in life, to live in this lush underworld, sign me up. I'm going to go.
I agree. Yeah, I think that one, the only thing I would say is that it might get a little mentally exhausting because like every single communication would be some sort of riddle where you would walk up to like the bus stop and it would be like, well, the bus isn't coming at this time. That isn't 11:35. And it's like, can you tell me, give me a schedule? But yeah, I think that would be extremely fun. I mean, like you said, it's like literally an adventure every corner. Everyone is like doing something fun. I like it. Let's see what our fans have to say, though. I think we also have some good fictional universes. Don't know if anyone has your same answer, but a lot of people, they have some good options. So fans, we turn over to you. If you could live in a fictional universe, which one would it be?
Oh, definitely The Simpsons. I use so many smiley face emojis now that I already feel like a yellow person.
Plus, you'll know what happens in the future if you live in the Simpsons universe.
Exactly. Maybe he could like do a double time where he like goes into the Simpsons universe, sees what's happening, and then comes back and reports. Sort of like when people go back in time with like the football game scores and they'll like go back to the 80s and they'll be like, I'm gonna bet on this team. No reason.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
If I could live in a fictional universe, I would live in Once Upon a Time, I would want it to be like that because they had an adventure every single day, every moment, and it was always something to keep you on edge. So if I lived in a universe, it would have to be Once Upon a Time because you just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And also, if you want to be like if you're a Disney fan, that's perfect because you'll get to meet all your favorite Disney characters.
Yes.
Love.
If I could live in a fictional universe, I think I'd be a little bit scared because I don't know what type of like conditions are going to exist in that realm. So I think anything benevolent like fairies or some type of like medieval kingdom like based on Disney wouldn't be too scary. But anything else, I'd be a little bit reluctant.
Okay, I'm glad she clarified because she's like some kind of medieval kingdom. It's like no. I'm thinking like Game of Thrones. That's exactly what you don't want. But yes, she also wants a Once Upon a Time type experience.
That's true. That's true. Although I will say a lot of those classic Disney movies, they are like pretty dangerous. Like you could like be cursed to like prick your finger on like a spinster wheel and go into a coma for like years. So
Yeah.
and anything can happen in those movies. But I mean, for the most part, it's very peaceful and nice.
If I could live in a fictional universe, it would definitely be Avatar because I love the scenery. I love how it's just all magic, and also the fact how if you die, your spirit or soul lives on in this tree. So basically, you're still there, and I think they put a lot of work into it. You know, just like Lord of the Rings and all fictional. I love all fictional movies, to be honest.
Yeah, but he's chosen like a really visually rich experience to live in. That was a good answer. Avatar. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. All those movies, the CGI looks so good. I'm like, I would live here.
Yeah.
Get me up in one of those trees. Get me on one of those like alien monsters that you connect your hair to, and then you fly around. I would love to do that.
Yeah. And only Smiley thought about the afterlife. What happens? Because if you live here, odds are you're going to die here, right? And if you could live on there, perfect.
Yeah.
I think that I would live in the Naruto fictional universe. I think it would be pretty cool to be able to generate your own chakra and like get power out of that to do different things, and also be like very agile to like walk on walls and jump like super high and travel fast.
It's so interesting how each answer just reveals so much about someone's personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Very
agree.
interesting.
It reminds me of like that's the reason I would want to live in The Incredibles, because then I could because there's that scene where the kid Dash, he runs on water. I would also love to do that. So same kind of like athletic ability, that would always be the superheroes. They'll always have that appeal of like being able to do stuff you can't do here.
Is athletic ability something you can't do here? Is that what you just revealed?
I can't run on water. I wish I could. I can't.
I believe that there is a multiverse out there, right? Anytime I feel like a deja vu, like, oh, I've been here, I've done that, I think maybe another version of me in a different world has done something like this. I would want to live in that world, but only if it was better than my world. I think that they exist, other versions of us exist, and I would actually want to try out living in one of those places.
So she wants to be a time traveler, really. It sounds like she would like the same experiences that she has here on Earth, but she would like to actually go back and experience them as they were. So that's kind of an interesting take.
Yeah.
Is that did I pick that up wrong?
I think it gives more. I thought it was more like the many worlds theory, where it's like every decision you make creates another world where you made the other one. And so I think she wants to go to like the most optimal one where she like made all the right choices.
Okay.
Yeah. Where it's like you didn't miss the bus that one day, or you decided to not go out clubbing that one night and get a hangover and then go out to lunch with your parents and have a stomach ache.
Right. Okay. So it's like akin to the butterfly effect.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I got it.
Yeah. These were all very good answers, though. Now it's time to vote for your favorite fictional universe, which one you would want to live in. Type vote space and the number of the answer you loved in chat, and you will send them to our final round coming up in just a second. I think there's some good ones in here. I think I like the Disney option. I feel like the Disney ones, it's probably the safest because it's like, you know that the villain is probably going to be defeated in the end if there's like any problems.
Yeah, that's true. And that was number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
Some good ones.
Avatar was pretty good though. That was a sharp answer. And I got my vote in just in time.
At the last
Smiley.
second.
And Smiley's our last semifinalist, correct?
Yes. And also, I think a double finalist because he also had the alien answer.
Smiley killing it this week.
Yeah, Smiley is on a roll.
Nice.
Unfortunately, only one of his answers is going to be able to win, so he will be both a winner and a loser.
First and second, possibly.
Exactly. Well, thank you all so much for your answers. Congratulations, Smiley. Before we get to this famed final round, we have one last poll for you all. We're asking you, in which fictional universe would you want to live in? We have the Chronicles of Narnia, we have Barbie, we have The Walking Dead, and we have Doctor Who.
Oh, who would want to live in the Walking Dead world? Barbie, though, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a little stiff, but Narnia. Narnia. Who? I can't believe I didn't think of that.
That's a good one.
Narnia's a really good one, yeah.
Yeah, another one where it's like a fantasy world that's a little bit dangerous, but you can trust that that things are going to be resolved pretty well in the end.
Right.
And you get those Turkish delights.
Turkish delights.
Well, this was such a good question. We've actually gone through every single question for Sci-Fi Week, which means there's only one thing left to do, and it is the final round. Woo.
Final, the grand finale.
Yes. So we have all of our 7 semifinal, or I guess our finalists. And so now those answers are going to compete against each other to see who will become our weekly champion. If there is a time to vote for your favorite answer, it is now. But before we get into that voting, I think we need to do a little recap because we've been here for like an hour and 15 minutes. A lot of answers have been heard. We have a lot of winners. So let's just take a moment to refresh on what people said, and then we can get into the voting. Does that sound good?
Perfect. Great.
Cool. Then let us begin with our recap.
Which cult classic deserves a reboot? Now, this is a hard one, but the first thing that comes to my mind would be Star Trek. It's a show that I've seen a little bit of. I haven't seen a ton, but it's, super popular with the older generation. It's and by older generation, people older than me. And, it really is a classic. But, I never got into it because of, the bad graphics. And, I feel like a reboot would be better for everybody. Shoot it in 4K. Get the younger generation involved, bring back some nostalgia for the younger generation. It'd really be a win-win. Plus, we're at the time where some of the actors are starting to pass away. So it's a great time to reboot and remind people of the greatness of Star Trek. I just saw, I think, a couple weeks ago that one of the lead actor or actresses had passed, and I think that the reboot would, really just allow for a re-celebration of the show, its accomplishments, and their lives.
Yes, so E. Finsterwald is answering the question, which cult classic do you think deserves a reboot? And he says that Star Trek, the original series, needs a reboot for all the oldies out there.
If aliens invaded Earth, I'd probably bring Godzilla, only because he has a track record. I think if there was an exterminator of hostile aliens in the monster movies, it would be Godzilla. He comes in, he cleans up shop, and he leaves. And everyone just loves him for it. Besides the newer Godzilla movies, but I think he's good. I think the destruction is worth the payoff.
Yes, so Jeremy is answering the question, which movie monster would you want defending mankind if aliens invaded Earth? And he is choosing our favorite 100-foot tall lizard monster who breathes radiation from his mouth.
Okay, this may sound crazy, but I think there is some truth to various things that I've read and watched about how there's like an underworld, Atlantis. I've also heard some things about the North Pole, but just sticking with Atlantis, I think there's some truth to the fact that maybe we used to be water people. I don't know. I hope that doesn't sound too crazy. But I definitely think that once upon a time, maybe everyone lived underwater.
Yes, so Brianna is answering the question, what out of the box theory do you totally believe? And honestly, her theory that there's like an underwater human civilization is not too crazy. I do want to hear what she has to say about the North Pole, though. So Brianna, follow up.
I feel like on the Death Star, my job would be chef because I'd just be straight cooking it up for all the Death Star employees. They know me by name, make the best pizza. On Fridays, I'm making soup on Tuesday, 5-bean soup on the Death Star. They love it. They know me. And, no one can get mad at the chef if you're cooking up all the time. So that's why I'd be on the Death Star. I'd be chef.
So Ill Options is answering the question, what would be your job on the Death Star? And he is straight cooking it up with pizza and red bean soup, 5-bean soup for his fellow stormtroopers and Darth Vader fodder.
Hands down, I would need to know all of the details and facts surrounding JFK's shooting. I'm not a history buff. I'm not like a know the president's in order kind of person, but I need to know exactly where he was shot from, what angle was correct, if the whole sign on the grassy knoll had a role to play, who done it, everything.
Yes, so Alexis is answering the question, what unsolved mystery do you need the answer to? And she is requesting the FBI. FBI, if you're watching today, send all of the information you have to Alexis so she can crack the code about JFK's assassination. The mystery for a generation.
If I could live in a fictional universe, it would definitely be Avatar. Because I love the scenery. I love how it's just all magic. And also the fact how if you die, your spirit or soul lives on in this tree. So basically you're still there. And I think they put a lot of work into it, just like Lord of the Rings and all fictional. I love all fictional movies, to be honest.
Yes, so Smiley is answering the question, which fictional universe would you want to make your home? And he wants to live on Pandora with the unobtainium and the Avatar, the blue people, which sounds like a blast. Party.
The celebrity I would want on my zombie apocalypse team would be Gucci Mane because he's ripped and he would keep us lively with music. And that's who I'd want on my celebrity zombie team.
Yes, so Nick is answering the question, which celebrity would you want on your zombie apocalypse survivor squad? And he says Gucci Mane, the rapper, because who wouldn't want a little music and a little bit of muscle to go along with it when you're trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse Walking Dead world? So we have gone through all of our answers. I unfortunately no double Smiley, but that means we have 7 very worthy contestants vying to be our weekly champion. And that means you all fans need to vote for who you think is the champion, the best answer for Sci-Fi Week. You can vote in chat now by typing vote space and the number of the answer you loved. Who's it going to be?
Boy.
This is a good one.
I know. I feel like I kind of, well, I'm not going to say I knew who the winners were, but I picked some at the beginning that I really loved. Jeremy. Oh, Godzilla. He said he would choose Godzilla to defend mankind against an alien invasion, and that was an excellent answer. Jeremy, you are this week's QOTD Big Show champion.
Yes, you are. Congratulations. I mean, if there's one thing we've learned from today, amongst all the talk of aliens and The Rock. It's that, in the end, Godzilla always wins. But this was such a good set of questions. Thank you all so much for watching Sci-Fi Week. I had such a fun time. Unfortunately, we have reached the end of the week, which means we have to say goodbye to sci-fi. Fortunately, though, with the end of one theme comes the beginning of another. And Trish, if I'm not mistaken, you seem to have the intel about what this coming week's theme is going to be. Can you give us a little hint?
I do. Next week's theme is going to be celebrities. Okay, so there's so many great movies and albums coming out, and there are a lot of iconic celebrities out there for us to talk about, from Sabrina Carpenter and Post Malone and Charlie XCX to Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones, and it goes on and on and on. We are going to be talking about our favorite celebs and our own rises to fame.
Yes, that's true. If you ever want to talk about your 15 minutes or your favorite 15 minutes from someone else, this is your chance. But Trish, I think we can go a little bit deeper, because I heard that you also, a little birdie perched on my shoulder, told me that you had the intel about tomorrow's question, our first question for the week. Do you know what that is?
I do. So those of you who are watching us right now are the first to hear it. We wanted to know, who was your first celebrity crush?
Love. Everyone has one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be such a fun question. So that question will be available to answer tonight, starting at midnight on QOTD.beyondtheair.com. So you can go over there, you can record your answer, and you can be on our weekly finale show for next week. Remember, everyone, you can also play QOTD literally at any time. We have a 24-hour show that you can watch anytime throughout the day. You can vote for your favorite answers during the show. You can send them stars, which means when you send stars, they'll be more likely to appear on the weekly finale show. And you can also, of course, record your own answers and play our other Beyond the Air games, including Sketch the Cat and our new play along game, where you can watch and play along with your favorite movies and TV shows.
And guys, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You'll be the first to get tomorrow's announcement, as well as our daily community polls and our favorite answers right in your inbox. So thank you all again for watching. And you know what? We can't wait to see you on TV.
Yes, bye everyone. See you next week.